welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. My name is Ryan Does, and I am your host on today's episode, where we will conclude our three-part journey through the storyline, The Devourer King, with the guys from Apollo City Comics. Brandon and Brandon are back for this concluding episode of our mini series that got us through most of November. We're almost at the end of November, and this series concludes today. We talk about the last two issues in this epic story from Donny Cates and Nick Klein. You are not going to want to miss this episode. We get into asking some big existential questions. We challenge some storytelling elements. We read a lot of these comics because they're too good to try and describe in our own words. So we go ahead and we give you a little bit of live reading here as well. There's a lot in this episode that you're not going to want to miss. So I encourage you, stick around, enjoy this episode. I know you are going to get something out of it on an entertainment level, on a literary level, just maybe on a deeper life question, maybe some philosophical ponderings level. It's going to be a great time. And I wanted to tease a little bit of an announcement for the end of the podcast. We have a great episode coming up this Thursday for Thanksgiving. Yes, we're doing a Thanksgiving special, and we're serving up some great audio that you can feast on throughout the Thanksgiving weekend. I wonder how many more of these Thanksgiving puns I can reach. You are not going to want to be a turkey about it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm trying to tease a great episode that we have in store for you this Thursday for Thanksgiving. You're not going to want to miss that. Without further ado, we'll do all the following and supporting the show at the end of the podcast, because I don't want you to miss any more seconds between now and the conclusion of The Devourer King. So without further ado, here is part 3, the epic conclusion of Donny Cates and Nick Klein's The Devourer King. Five starts, we get a little bit of an assessment of where things are at in Asgard with, all the refugees, and Sif and Beta Ray Bill are talking. And
I mean, that's the cool part too, and I hate to get political here, but Asgard is just it's taking in refugees. It doesn't matter where you're from. These guys are just trying to help people across the galaxies. Yeah. And, at the same time, we had, and this could have been premeditated, comic books do this all the time. Art imitates life very often. Yeah. But especially in El Paso with COVID going on, we had a lot of refugees coming in and, coming through the border and everything. And so seeing this was just damn, what a contrast to what we do with refugees in this country compared to what we say we do with refugees in this, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
I totally get it. Yeah. I think it speaks to the inner empathy of not only the creative team, but also the characters.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. What we should strive towards. Again, it's always the hero thing, that what you should strive towards.
We use characters like heroes to strive towards an ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And the ideal is that we would have empathy for those who are hurt and in pain, and who they've literally just lost not their livelihood. They have lost everything they know.
Yep. History
is gone.
Everything. Their whole earth is gone, and we're just people on a ship. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And there's no going back.
Mm-hmm.
The Galactus has consumed it. It's a global cataclysmic event.
Yep.
And what did they do?
Yeah,
they've been given this one lifeboat off of a doomed world, and it's in Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
And it speaks to let's quick aside into this. Thor has been battling internally with his role as a king, but yet he has done one of the most kingly things in welcoming these peoples, these different species, these different beings onto his world, saying, I understand what I have to do, but also you're not just going to be caught in the tidal wave.
Damn, imagine if that's how we approached wars. Like we go to war with another country, but we're like, hey, we don't want any civilians getting hurt. We'll take some in. But I mean, come on, like send them over, like we'll help them. But no, we just bomb the hell and kill people. You know what I mean? Like it's such a insane contrast in how they've handled it. And that's a great point in that kingly, mission that he's on, subconsciously. And look what he did. Like that's just beautiful at that point,
Yeah.
like we can
I
only
think
wish.
I think for him as a character too, it's one of those things like he's done something astronomical, right? He's like given a home to a whole planet's worth of multiple species. But he's also the kind of character that's going to be his own worst critic, where he's always wishing he could do more.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what you guys saying is so it's so awesome. Like I'm trying to think of even a better word than awesome. In this entire 6-issue explanation of Thor's godhood and his great power and his cosmic, grandeur, it proves more about his humanity than anything.
Damn. Yeah. No.
Like
Yes. Yes.
he is both invincibly powerful on a cosmic reality changing way, but in that he does not forget the people who have to pick up the pieces.
Yep. It could be a flicker in his long eternal moment of life. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing is 10 minutes to him,
Yeah.
but he still takes the time and the empathy to be like, it doesn't matter if I remember them or know them, it's that I save them. And how much better of a character can you be than that?
I wonder if when we talk about Donny Cates like he's a friend of ours, but it honestly it feels like, how could he not have intended that?
Yeah. No, that's master storytelling, the layers that are within these 6 issues. Like, because you know what? You go from that and just you do all that in about 3 page, 2 page, 1 page. 1 page is where we got that entire idea from. And in fact, if you really want to narrow it down, it's like 3 panels on 1 page that we perceived and came up with all that. Because the next is about Beta Ray Bill kind of just trying to recover, and Lady Sif waiting for Thor. And then by page, was it 5? Dude, you have bandana Thor with Galactus shooting lasers out of every part of his, like every opening he has practically. And Thor's spinning his hammer and fighting the Black Winter. Like, dude, this every 2-page spread in the series is the most monumental 2-page spread.
Killer.
Yes. Like that's how fast this stuff shifts. You go from talking about refugees and saving thousands of people to like, okay, we're fighting a space cloud, like with this gigantic cosmic warrior and this thunder god.
It literally says on the top of the page, we go back into the eye of the storm.
Yeah, there you go.
And I just want to like maybe thematically throw something at you guys before we dig into this, this penultimate, very, very dark issue of Thor. So much of what has led up to this point in the story is surrounding the suffering of others, alleviating the suffering of others. Beta Ray Bill suffering to get, to basically to confront one of his friends. Sif is torn, she's suffering internally. Now the God King, the All Father, is going to suffer, and he's going to suffer hard.
Yes.
And he is going to literally go into the darkest moment of, this is a comic book. We're talking about a comic book here. And yet he is going to be consumed with his own death.
Yeah.
And it's not rosy.
I was reading this and literally thinking, like, if I got to see how I died, would I look? You know what I mean? That's what this entire issue puts in your brain, like that one question. and you see what Thor goes through, and you're just like, how curious would I be, or how much regret would I have not knowing? You know, like it's
Mhm.
that borderline. It could drive me mad and it can ruin my life, or I could, fight. I'm gonna be fucking 106 and die in a bed, like without knowing, but he's facing everything that he's ever feared and ever his toughest enemies. What's cool, I mean, just to kind of go through it a little bit, like Gore pops up and then Loki, but not like the Loki we've seen. This is a much more sinister, long-horned, devious, classic Loki.
Yeah.
And then I always forget this demon guy's name. That's you. Mangog. That's what it is. Yes.
He is the embodiment of a billion souls slaughtered by Odin.
That is fucking cool. Yes. So rad.
Like many themes in this, it's very metal.
Yeah, dude.
Can you imagine if Donny Cates were somehow the heavy metal imprint in DC Comics comes over to Marvel and Donnie's like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, I totally would. Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, guys, sign me up.
You have this awesome page where you have some of the best. I don't know if he's gotten up against all these guys where it's been such a giant threat, because I could see how Gore was intense, Annihilator, Doctor Doom, Soltar, Magog, and Loki riding Magog.
Is that like an Ultron thing?
That's Annihilator.
That's Annihilator?
Yeah.
Why has he got the head of Ultron?
You've got Juggernaut, Mephisto is there.
I see Apocalypse, of course.
Apocalypse, Malekith is there.
What's her name?
The Enchantress.
Yeah, Enchantress. Yeah.
I got her right here too. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's some Kirby goodness right there. Dude, I don't know if he's ever gone against Apocalypse or Juggernaut or why,
yes. I believe what we're meant to get from this is that these are all of Thor's greatest threats. That all the beings that have put him through hell. And there's a line back just a few pages that I don't want to skip over, because I think it kind of speaks to the undertone of this whole issue. Thor is consumed by the black.
Yes.
And he's taken to this, like, I'm just maybe like he's just looking inside himself, and there's all these it's this very metallic steel, almost looks like a abstract museum, like a very like a modern art museum.
Oh yeah, there's an art piece that's like similar to this, and if I was good at what I do, I would know what it is, but
it's very cold and it's very ominous looking, and Thor tries to basically bow up to the Black Winter as he did with Galactus, because with Galactus he's very overt. It's like, I'm not scared of you, I'm not afraid of you, and he says that to the Black Winter. He says, I'm not afraid of you, and the Black Winter says back, the end is not afraid of you either. And I'm like, that is
dope.
You read it and you get chills. And again, we are reading we're reading pictures, and it's a comic book, but like the writing is so good. And
you see the fear in Thor's face after you hear that line. Like, no, this can't be. Like, I can't fathom this. Like, how I just threw my hammer through Galactus's kneecap. Like, how is this going to stop me? But he's like, no, I felt that. This isn't a dream.
I mean, the next few pages, I mean, it's basically just the Black Winter telling Thor, all these different, all these different things. I mean, the writing is so good. I wish, we could read the whole thing. He describes in vivid detail. He says, I don't think you've had enough. Thor says, I've had enough of this. And he's like, I don't think you have. I'm going to show you how you die. Whether you want it or not. And he says, he lists all the villains that have showed up so far. He's like, you've been burned, you've been atomized, you've been crucified, you've been unmade, and then ultimately, what was supposed to be your true end, sacrificing yourself sacrificing yourself to bring lightning to the darkness to the end of times. And you see Jormungand, the Midgard serpent, which Brandon referenced earlier. That is mythologically, that is supposed to be the end of Thor.
Yeah, he dies straight up. He gets poisoned.
Yeah, he defeats the serpent, but he dies nonetheless, and that is the end of Ragnarok in mythology. But he continues. The Black Winter continues, a one-armed and a one-eyed, back to back with your brother against the butcher, Gore. Oh, but the winds have changed, Thunder God. Something is slithering through time. Someone is killing your destiny, breaking your fate. Can you feel it? Do you want to see it? Do you want me to show you how it all ends, how it truly ends? And my gosh, just the writing is so good. And Thor kind of breaks through the illusion momentarily, and we're taken out of that little scene, and Thor tries to fight against the Black Winter.
So he ends up doing what is called the God Blast, and
Yes.
to basically kind of destroy the Black Winter. He thinks, and he even says, he's like, if the Black Winter can't be truly stopped, if he cannot be killed, then Thor will die this day, knowing that the storm will not soon forget the day he made it bleed. Is the God Blast from the Jason Aaron stuff? That sounds familiar.
That honestly, I don't recall. Possibly,
or maybe I'm just thinking of the God
Right.
Bomb in general.
Yeah, the God Bomb was
Yeah.
used. In
Oh, okay,
the
yeah.
thing.
because that's the follow-up to the God Butcher story.
Yeah, okay. Then maybe that's what I was thinking of. Maybe that's where it was kind of like resonating off of and whatnot.
All right, I looked it up. Databasecomicbooks.com. Here we go. I'm trying to find the history. So it first appeared in Thor number 412 in 1989.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
He used the God Blast to push the Juggernaut backward.
Oh.
Wait, what number?
412.
Ooh.
And it is
later.
Let's see.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it brings back to that reason why the Juggernaut's there. I didn't know that he was had such a
Yeah. Apparently, he fought the Juggernaut with the New Warriors.
It goes on quite a few adventures with the New Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. He apparently used the God Blast the first time in that issue. And it's basically just him unleashing a bunch of energy.
And I mean, he doesn't kill destroy the Black Winter. But he, like you said, he comes back to like the now, the present. He's there by Galactus's side.
This makes sense. Sorry. So he actually, it says right here, 161, he used the God Blast on Galactus. So it didn't show up in that one first. It showed up in issue 161.
So he
used it on Galactus. So maybe that's a callback to 1960s Thor.
Damn, that is even better.
Yeah, sorry, but go ahead, Brandon. Go on. What's up?
So sorry, I just remembered why that issue sounded familiar. That is a series of issues. It's a few of the last issues that Kirby drew for Thor, where Galactus is fighting against Ego, the Living Planet.
Yep.
Thor is basically caught in the middle. And
does that do the whole origin of Galactus and whatnot? Like go into that, or is that like right after?
You know what? I don't remember.
Because that was a Kirby book too, and I know that was towards some of that in stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll look into that. Like that's another little run I wanted to check out. So.
Yeah. Wow, gosh, so much good stuff.
That's a cool thing. He knows how to dive into history and pull those elements again. This is another perfect example. Like these are great callbacks. Great writers do that, like Grant Morrison and Neil Gaiman and stuff like that. They pull the right things. You do the whole Leonardo DiCaprio meme where you're just like, I know what that is. Like,
that
yeah.
I mean, what I think, going back to Donny Cates as a writer, I think what stands out about him so much is you can tell he's a fan, but he doesn't tell you he's a fan. Like,
yes.
Like I've followed him along enough on social media. Like he's just a dude. Like he's a dude. Like he talks about his wife. He takes like cool pictures, but he's not there. Like when he leaves the office or when he leaves his office, he's a normal dude.
Yeah.
But these references, like that to me is the thing where it's like, oh no, he knows his stuff. He's not just a new kid on the block.
Oh, he's a huge comic book nerd. Donny Cates this is a weird comparison, but Donny Cates reminds me of Jeff Johns if Jeff Johns just like shut up for a second.
I
Not in a
can see
bad
that.
way either.
I can
Like
see that.
Jeff Johns is one of those guys, like that dude bleeds DC. He fucking,
I'm reading his
he'll
Shazam run right now, and I could totally see where you're getting.
yeah,
where
in
you're saying that.
interviews, he's always like, I love Green Lantern, I love Superman, I love this, I love that, I love Aquaman. He doesn't shut up about, and when I say shut up, I'm not saying like in a rude way. It's just like he just keeps going and going, and he's like, I love DC. Donny Cates has said like, I love Marvel, like 90s Marvel especially. So he's one of the few people to actually praise 90s comics. But like he's like the same thing. He adores these characters, he loves them, but he just doesn't really talk about it.
Yeah.
Brandon, it's so awesome that you mentioned Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is the reason that I have this Aquaman tattoo.
There you go.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Jeff Johns' run on Aquaman was so good.
We'll get you on when we cover it, and we'll get our friend Kamran on too. And
yeah, because I'm actually not an Aquaman fan, but I do respect Jeff Johns.
If you want to talk Aquaman, yes. But okay, so we're back. I got to pull us back because we're about to see an amazing full page art piece, where Nick Klein does more with the color black here than I thought could be done, because Thor and Galactus dissipate the illusion that the Black Winter had put around him, and we see the Black Winter take the form of Thor himself. And he explains that before that he can show Thor his death, he's going to show Galactus, because the Black Winter's not here for he's not here for Thor. No. He's here for Galactus.
Yeah.
And he refers to Galactus as his herald.
And that puts a whole cycle onto it, or why Galactus is the way he is. It builds that history that's always been missing, that gap. Him being the herald of the Black Winter and knowing what he can do. That's just like the Silver Surfer being terrified of that Galactus is coming and trying to stop him. It's that same pattern. And it's like, dude, that is so obvious, but hey, you pulled that off. Like, bravo. Yeah. Like,
it's like, what is Galactus afraid of? He's afraid of his master coming to get him.
Yeah.
And even the Black Winter says, I'm here to reclaim what is mine. I am here for him. And he points at Galactus and says, for the one I spared, for the one I created, for Gallon of Ta, for Galactus, my herald. And that's how the issue ends.
And, just jumping right into issue 6.
Yes.
The first page, that full page splash of the Obsidian Surfer, looking dreary, just as he floats through the halls of Asgard. It says later, and you're just like, and then it was done. And you're just like, what a good transition to where you're seeing this giant revelation. And then you go into the future, you're looking at Thor. Apparently it's been months since where we left off in issue 5. Months. And Thor is just getting trashed. He hasn't left his throne. He's not talking. He is just traumatized. He is traumatized from this event. Something we've never really, I don't know, maybe, but something we've never seen Thor really go through, and where he's broken down and beaten and basically almost given up.
And I kind of get why, I don't presume to, live rent free in Donny Cates's brain, but I get why you would choose Norrin Rad to be in this part.
Oh yeah.
Who would know? Who would know better? Who would know better than the weight of watching whole worlds be destroyed for the sake of one being's power?
Yeah.
So he finally tells him, he says, or Norrin says, what have you seen? What happened? What have you seen? And we cut right back to Galactus lashing out at the Black Winter, almost ineffectively. It's almost like he's throwing a tantrum. He's like, no, you cannot send me to my room. Like, I will not go to my room.
Yeah.
The Black Winter has a great Galactus says, you lie. I'm not your herald. You lie. And the Black Winter says, I never lie. I made you a promise all those eons ago. I spare you, you serve me. It is you who have led, it is you who have led or lied. You who has been running from your fate. I have searched for you for eons, Galen, and I found you here, hiding in this doomed universe. I gave you powers beyond imagining, and now I have come to collect them. I mean, I've said it too
What
many
a great
times.
setup. Like, it's
Yeah.
so awesome.
It's kind of like that Star Wars meme. There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like, sum up this arc in one meme, Brandon. You just did it.
Yeah, I just summed up
Yeah.
Galactus as a character.
Yes.
Yeah, 50 years of history right there.
And man, it's one of those things. He it's kind of hard to even fathom what's like going on in the scene with
Yeah.
the way the Black Winter is attacking Galactus, sends him down, and instead of helping Galactus like you said he would, he's just like, Thor is now at the turning point. He's like, I'm here, we're facing the Black Winter. I don't need you anymore. I'm gonna do this. I have your power cosmic, and guess what? I'm gonna strip you from it. And Thor, being the god king he is, has that capability and strips Galactus. Galactus is having a shitty day at this point. Like, it is it is just going every wrong way possible. And if it's the winner wants you, then he will have you. And so he knows how evil Galactus is, and he has no sympathy handing this man creature, this cosmic being over, no problem. But he also punishes him first, and he delivers justice. And again, god damn, dude, these 2-page spreads, how do you get better?
So let's describe that 2-page panel, but I want to read Thor's, basically his pronouncement of justice.
Yes.
Because it's so good. He says, Galen of Ta, on behalf of the countless planets you've destroyed and laid barren in your wake, for Acropia, for Massacron, for Eleanor 143, for Dravenbar, for Clips, for Silas, for IOX4, for Vanish 12, for Cryo, for Corbin, for Zenla, for Earth, and for Asgard. And then he obliterates Galactus.
I sentence you to death.
I sentence you
whenever there's a Kraka-Kroom, you know it's gonna be a monumental moment. Man, just Galactus's armor shattering apart, his skin underneath it looking withered and beaten. His skull looks like his soul has been sucked out of him. Thor is like glowing with his magnificent white and blue with the most powerful punch ever. And then you have these beautiful Kirby dots in the background just kind of skittering away. That it's just an epic shot. And then you end up with this, helmetless Darth Vader looking Galactus on the next page. Yeah. And the Black Winter and Thor just like, he's like, the Black Winter's like, I'm gonna take him, he's mine now. And you would assume so, like he's like, mission's done, take your Herald. But Thor is like, no, you'll take nothing. And Black Winter is just threatening him, just being like, you have nothing. I could defeat you. What are you talking about? And Thor, just being the egotistical monster that he is, he's just like, nay, Galactus serves me yet. And not as a trophy, as all this stuff that the Black Winter's saying, but a bomb, a weapon. And dude, this whole thing of combining like the power of planets, man, it's this whole little whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, just black, blues, and hints of purples and whites. You're getting so much energy in a single page. It's just electrifying.
So I want to remind listeners, as you've listened to us, just expound on this for let's be realistic, 2 parts. That Thor uses Galactus's power to dispel the Black Winter. We have not seen Thor's end yet.
No,
we've not seen the promised end that the Black Winter said Thor would see. And there's just a bit of narration that I'd like to read, and then we'll sum this up with how the arc ends. And then the falling of ash of winter amid the graveyard of a world destroyer. There was Thor at the end of everything. You have won nothing. Your end, it cannot be stopped. It is coming. Before I am no more. Do you want to see how you will die? And there's a black snowflake. I mean, we have seen bursts and lasers and explosions and all that kind of stuff. And yet the most ominous thing is a black snowflake falling down into Thor's hand, and it crumbles into his hand. And Thor answers back, yes.
You know, I love how you said that. Like, you're talking about how these cosmic, magnificent, like epic, grandiose moments are happening. It's just like we're lasers and planets and creatures, but the simplicity of a snowflake from all
Well,
this mass destruction, that contrast is what makes this so beautiful.
it's also the way the panels are laid out. I mean, if you look at this actually, on that page specifically, the panels are all the same size,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and they all roughly take the same amount of time to read.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have this thing that you do with panels that people don't realize is happening when you're reading it, is the manipulation of time. Not just like how time is, how long it takes for you, the reader, to read the page, but how they set up time to progress in the scene, because every panel is kind of like a new beat kind of thing, or like the setup to a beat, or however you want to put it. It's a piece to a beat.
Yeah.
And it's just like, basically this whole page is giving you that time with this moment. You know, there's been the epic space battles, there's been the giant lasers, the big, you know, explosions, the world eating moments, but the page takes its time to have this impactful moment of where it all leads up to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it achieves that with the pacing.
Well, you know, looking at the pacing a little bit more, like zoning in, like when you look at the text within it, ending
Yeah.
everything on the ellipsis or on a
Yeah,
period, it gives it that poetic feel, and you can't help but read it like you would a poem. You know when to pause, you know when to move forward, and having that blank panel there leaves you like taking it like. And then, yes, that's when you let go of your breath. Like you breathe in during that last panel because you're just kind of gripped, and then you let it go when you see how Thor, black eyes, tears built up with one single word, and then you fucking turn this page, and it is
Galactus's helmet.
Galactus' helmet is now the the adornment of the tree.
yes.
I want to highlight a juxtaposition from the beginning of when we started this, you know, our own epic a few hours ago.
Mhm.
Before we reveal the last page of the book, Thor at the beginning of this arc is so overwhelmed with the mundane, the routine of this new role that he's taken upon. But all these years, we've talked about his immortality so much in this arc. You know, we had the great panel, the Renaissance painting panel of him fighting for a year, and you know he's a god. He's a god that finally became a king. I believe the Black Winter talks about that as well. You know, you are a god made king, and now a god king is faced with the vision of his destruction. And what is that destruction? It's Thanos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a Mjolnir wielding, Infinity Stone
Infused.
empowered,
Yeah.
infused Thanos. And Thanos is standing above what we have to assume is a scorched earth, and all the heroes of the Marvel universe are behind him in this horrific, like almost nightmarish. I won't say not almost. It is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Thor is Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, can you name all the characters?
Oh goodness.
Oh yeah, we have Spidey, Hulk,
Sentry,
Venom,
Sentry, Medusa,
Medusa, Venom,
Cable,
Ghost
Wolverine,
Rider.
Ghost Rider,
Silk.
Juggernaut.
Wait, which one's Silk? How did I miss that?
So if you look right between the ever loving thing and the Ghost Rider head, the woman with the mask over her face.
Oh, that is Silk. I couldn't figure that out.
That's Silk's face covering.
And it looks like you have Magic, Black Bolt, Man Thing, Cap. I just don't know who's
She-Hulk.
in between.
Right under Thanos' crotch.
Yeah, yeah.
Is She-Hulk.
I was thinking like
oh,
She-Hulk.
I think
Yeah.
that's
okay.
She-Hulk.
Who's right above? Oh, I guess that's Medusa because we have Black Bolt over here, but right above.
And I think where's the claws above Juggernaut? Can you?
It looks like X-23, to be honest.
I want to say that.
It's
Yeah.
just 2 claws.
Yeah.
But,
So,
yeah.
we have the Mjolnir with Infinity Gauntlet, but what glove? What's this black
Is that the
glove?
Destroyer?
I honestly
don't know.
Destroyer. What's it called?
I don't know. I did not. That's not something I actually looked into.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that one is. I think that's a much deeper cut than I'm aware of.
Okay, so that's Silk and Shield. I couldn't tell the way it's laid out. So okay,
Hold on.
that's why I asked.
Let's just look.
Let's also point out. I think one of the first things Donny Cates did at Marvel was Thanos,
Yeah, that was his first Marvel
which
work.
was issue 7.
Yeah.
Or it was.
He's really done what like Grant Morrison has done with like comic books, is setting his own stage, telling his own stories, and getting everything he wants involved and making one big climactic story. It's like what Morrison did with like Final Crisis and Seven Soldiers of Victory. And when you think about like how Donnie's pulling from Silver and Golden Age references, that was like what Morrison did, and he's studying the greats and he's hitting those same marks essentially. Like Donnie's stuff is what's going to be told and remembered and praised for years at this point.
I mean, it feels so. Listeners, I am really unsure how to finalize this conversation, because when I say this is it is a must read.
I love this series, and I really, we've always talked about doing it on the show. We always wait for it to come out a little bit more, but we were going to do it. And it's just one of those stories that's just like, there's so much to it. And if you really take your time with it, you can see all the great things that are part of it. Like if you slow down and really just focus and embrace the comic, you're going to be mind blown.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to end the conversation, but this is just Ryan talking as a comic book fan. Like I could talk about these 6 issues for a long time.
Well, we did talk about it.
Yeah.
Really, we have done that.
Yeah.
And I do want to be respectful of your guys' time, but I mean, this run does not end. I mean, Donnie continues to kill.
Yeah, I didn't know it was ongoing. I thought it was a limited series.
Me too. And
because
just
it
to know
reads
that
like a limited series.
His
He
arc
has
is
many
perfect.
arcs.
His arc is perfect. Like you have the beginning of fulfilling middle. You have the 3-act structure is so apparent in it. Issue 1 is your setup. Issue 2 through 5 is your act 2, and then issue 6 is your act 3. There's no better way. He has just gotten better and better with every new thing he does, and this is just one of those books. Like you can reread this again and again. It's everything I'd want in a cosmic epic story. Like he went for Thor and he went big.
Yeah.
If you're someone who wants to have the issues in your hand, get the trade. It will read like a book.
Yeah. Beautifully and smoothly digestible. You could read this whole thing in like maybe 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
I think I went through it on my lunch at work each day.
Yeah.
Just like real quick.
Just fly through it and you will just love and adore it. And then once you slow down and read it, you're just like, God, how could I have ever read this at the speed I did? But it's so much action and then compelling story mixed with the pacing. Ideal. And it's like you said, Nick, as an artist, killed it.
Yeah, the pacing's fun. It's fun comic book reading. That's the thing. Like, yeah, it's an awesome story and it's epic, but like at its core, it's just a book just doing what superheroes do. It's Thor flying through space, fighting giant cosmic beings. I mean,
What
when
more
you
do you
get that,
want?
yeah, like I've always thrown this term around. It's comic booky, and that's what makes it
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's why the three of us talked for almost 3 hours
Yeah.
this night.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you know, the only I it's one of the things, you just get too sucked into this book, and it's hard not to hit these nods when you want to have this apparent for, especially for new readers who may not get it or understand. But you know what? You all have a list of things to Google now. So
And honestly, you know, on our show accounts, I will try to go back and remember some of these references that we made, because so many were made. And then and I definitely want to set you guys up as listeners up to succeed as comic book readers, because we reference a lot of great stuff, but unless you know where to go find it, it may leave you in the dark, and we do not want to leave you in the dark. So guys, anything else you want to say about Apollo City Comics? Anything you guys have coming up on your feed that you're excited about that maybe listeners to Across the Bifrost might want to check out?
Oh man, where to start?
I mean, check out Apollo City Comics on all podcast platforms. We have a YouTube. We do some video every so while, but there's some cool stuff on there of our episodes.
Okay.
We have a TikTok where I'm doing 1-minute reviews over there. We have our Twitter and Instagram
Awesome.
that are very vibrant.
Mhm.
And you know, we just hit our 100th episode, our 3rd anniversary. So we hit some crazy milestones. So thank you to everybody who's been a part of it. And then just a quick shout out to lesser known comics. Check them out and look into Coffee and a Comic. Great shop.
Yes.
So, and that's how we got acquainted to do this show.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Frank over there.
Yeah. And then you know, with Apollo, it's just we always kind of have this thing where Brandon tries to describe the show and he always gets like tongue tied with everything. But you know, Apollo, it's just all about being the everything and anything comic book podcast. It's about we're trying to do anything we can to change it up, and anything that's comic book related to just make it fun. I mean, it's movie commentaries, comic commentaries, interviews, reviews,
discussions,
just
talks, and just we literally, just as Brandon and I are both comic book writers, so we're just really just diving into our mediums. And
yeah,
you know what, there's film stuff in there. I do a lot with film, and if you want to hear some film talk, check out Sutro Side Talk, and I do a film podcast called Sutro Side Watch over there. So yeah, I mean, let us know, and we have it covered probably. And we have some exciting stuff coming up in the next couple months that we're almost ready to announce.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then one quick last shout out I have is
Absolutely.
that, you know, definitely go check out our friends that are always on there. Kamran and Danny have always been ones that have like come through when we need them on episodes. You can catch Danny's website, which is thirdplanet.news. And I've actually gone on there and done some comic book reviews. I haven't been able to lately. We've taken a break, but there's some stuff there. And then, you know, of course, Sutro Side Talk, which always has, you know, always been good to us. The both of them has been supportive. So definitely go check them out as well.
There is a community out there for you. If you are listening to this show, there are more people out there that love the things you love. So do not fret, dear listener. There are more people like you out in the world, for better or for worse. There's more people. So I want to thank Brandon from Apollo City Comics for joining us this week on Across the Bifrost for this epic conversation about the Devourer King. And it was guys, it lived up to all, I believe, all of our expectations. So thank you, gentlemen, both so much. We'll see you down the road.
Oh,
yes,
thank
you. Have a good one.
Thank you for having us.
Well, there you have it, everybody. That concludes our mini-series on Donny Cates and Nick Klein's epic adventure, The Devourer King. And it also concludes our conversation with Brandon from Apollo City Comics right now. Just much like the MCU movies do at the end, where they say, like, so-and-so will return. I can assure you, Brandon from Apollo City Comics will return in the future of Across the Bifrost. So go to their Instagram, follow them at Apollo City Comics. Go to anywhere you're finding podcasts. If you're finding us on a podcast provider, I guarantee you Apollo City Comics is there as well. So be sure to check them out. They would love to have your support, and they have just some great content that they're putting out. They've got some good plans for the rest of the year as well that they've shared a little bit with their hopes and their dreams for their show. So go and support them. And then while you're at it, go rate and review to our podcast, Across the Bifrost, wherever you're finding us. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you enjoyed about the Devourer King. It was one of my favorite miniseries that we've done so far. Really enjoyed those comics, as probably you could tell from it being 3 parts. We spent most of the month of November talking about Donny Cates and Nick Klein's Devourer King. So tell us what you thought about it in the comments or on our social media at Mighty Thor Podcast on Instagram. And then go join our public Facebook group, the Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor Podcast Facebook group. We got some great stuff up there. I post images from the comics. I tell you what I'm reading. I show you. Recently, I've been showing all of you my new podcast setup. We're going to get some new mics. It's going to be really, really fun to kind of test those out and see how they add to the quality of the show. So yeah, just lots of cool behind the scenes stuff that you get to see on our social media. So go and check that out. Now, I wanted to give you an announcement, share more details from my little teaser at the beginning of the podcast today. This Thursday is Thanksgiving. It is a great holiday to just spend time with family and friends, wherever you're at, however you do that. And we have an Across the Bifrost Thanksgiving special in the works for you. We are going to do a little bit of a crossover with what's happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The first episode of the new Hawkeye series comes out the day before Thanksgiving. So I'm going to hop on here and we're going to talk a little bit about Thor and Hawkeye from this year's Thor annual that featured the arrow-wielding, the bow-shooting Avenger, Hawkeye himself, and then we'll talk a little bit about the debut episode of the show. I hope you can tune in for that somewhere along your Thanksgiving weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll do a cool little bonus episode there, and it should be a good time for all of us. We've got a few of these holiday specials planned for you for the rest of the year. We got a lot planned for you for the rest of the year, as I've been saying pretty consistently now. So I'm very excited about it. And we've got some great people to come join us along the rest of the journey in 2021. So, friends, thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Thank you again to the guys from Apollo City Comics. And I remind you, until the next time you join us aboard the Rainbow Bridge, dear friends, dear listeners, stay worthy.